Hello everyone, this is Seah once again. Thank you for joining my channel. Today I'm going to do a unboxing of another manual hand grinder, and this particular grinder is actually from China, right? I've been introducing quite a lot of Chinese product. Not saying that I actually favor these Chinese made products, but because they are readily available in our country, and then it is easier for us to gain access, and of course the price versus the specs wise, it is something that's really attractive. So the grinder that I'm going to introduce today, right, you can see this is a brand new set. It's from this grinder company called Kin Grinder. So this is the K4 version. There is a K6 which we have also, and I'm going to review the K6 slightly later. In terms of outlook, the K4 and K6 looks almost identical. So without further ado, let me open this grinder up and let you see how the grinder looks like. The packaging is not fantastic. It is a simple box comparing to other grinders such as the Easy Presso, right? Definitely the packaging is something that is safe, right? And that's the reason why this grinder is a lot cheaper as compared to the Easy Presso range of series of grinder. So let me open this up. By the way, this is the K4, right? So a simple opening, and inside is sort of a foam padding. Right, so on the box there's nothing else. Basically it just states that it is from this company called Kin Grinder. So that's the box, and in the box you can see it actually covered with a foam, and on top of the foam is another foam that's being cut out, and followed by sort of an instructional manual, just a very simple printout in a cut form. And I think there are some spare accessories here for you to switch out certain parts, and a pack of silica gel to keep it dry, and then that is actually the grinder. Right, so this is how the grinder actually looks like. Finishing is, I think, should be aluminium, right? The finishing touch of the material looks very similar to my millwright grinder. The only difference is, of course, the grinding adjustment is at the top, whereby you actually adjust the grind here, which is very similar to the 1Z Presso. So the adjustment can be made simply by turning the knob on top. So this is something really convenient. So halfway, if I want to adjust the grind size, I don't have to unlock my bottom chamber and to access the burr here. Inside there's another dry packing material here, the silica gel. So I'm just going to take it out. Right, so there's a top acrylic cover. The acrylic cover actually has an O-ring inside, and this O-ring provides a better grip, right, to the top of the cover so that it doesn't drop out accidentally. As compared to my millwright, of course the millwright comes with a leather pouch, which is really very easy, and it looks it gives the millwright hand grinder a unique sort of a packaging, and this is something that's I think appeals to quite some of us when we first get the millwright hand grinder, is because of the leather pouch. And they have designed it in such a way that it's very easy for you to put it on, and it serves as a protection when you go traveling or when you go hiking. You can just throw this inside your bag, and the leather will cover and protect the grinder from inside. So you can see this is the millwright hand grinder from St. Anthony Industry, by the way. This is a US company, and this is actually the grinder from St. Anthony. I'm not doing a comparison between the two grinders. I'm just going to take a look at the physical appearance, and then of course this just comes with Okay, the millwright has an O-ring there as also, so they are similar in a way. So that because of the O-ring, right, so that the cap will stay on nice and tight and it doesn't drop off easily. In terms of the CNC and machining, I think the millwright has a slightly better finishing, because when I open this, I do not hear the screeching sound when I open and close the grinder. However, when I try to open the grinder, can you hear the sound? Right, that is actually the difference in quality. That's why this grinder is a lot cheaper. Can you hear that again? Can you hear that? You can't really hear anything, right? When I open and close. This is why the millwright is at a price of about $220, whereby I believe the king grinder is about $100. So that is actually don't quote me. I think the grinder costs around below $150. That's for sure, because we got the king grinder, we got the K4 and K6, and we shipped them from China, and it cost us around 200 plus. So one grinder should cost, I think the K6 cost higher and the K4 cost lower. And basically, what are the differences between the K4 and K6? That's going to be the next episode. And I'm just going to read to you some of the grinding instruction here, or the disassembling instruction. It appears that to disassemble the grinder, you have to remove, there is sort of a metal clip. You have to remove the metal clip. Right, you have to unwind the adjustment nut by turning counterclockwise, pull up the inner burr, and then remove the circlip as shown. Dump out the bearing cover as well as the bearing from the opposite side. Anyway, I'll do the disassembling of the grinder later on. It seems that there are more steps involved when if you want to disassemble the grinder. I've not so far disassembled my easy pressure grinder. I believe they are probably quite similar. I'm not too sure, but I will definitely disassemble it once I do the cleaning. But today is more of the grinding, and I'm just going to do a quick pour over and then see how's the grinding quality like, and the taste of the coffee, whether I can actually pick up any taste profile difference from the coffee grinded by the K4 and versus the millwright. Again, this is not really a comparison video. I'm just trying to have some sort of a benchmark, because the millwright is something that we are selling in our shop, but we are not selling the king grinder. I'm just going to review this unit for the fun of it. We do not actually get any sponsorship or whatsoever from the king grinder. This is just solely based on my observation and how I feel about the grinder. So we do not receive any sort of monetary return for this, right? We purchase this by ourselves. So that we're going to give you honest feedback on what we think about this grinder, and versus some sort of a benchmarking with something that we are selling. Okay, so without further ado, let's try to grind some beans and see how it goes, and see how's the grind consistency and everything. And by the way, right, it does come with a brush, and that's all, right? So this is more silica gel inside for drying out the grinder, and it comes with a sort of a very short brush. But I think the shorter brush is really easy for you to clean out the burr. Again, the burr is something that's different because when I use the easy presso, a lot of coffee ground tend to stuck around this due to static, and this will come in handy with a brush. You can actually brush out the coffee ground from here. So that is the purpose of this brush. It's for cleaning purposes. So I will not be using this for now. I'll probably put it aside first, and I will take it out when I need it later on. So let me put away all this packaging material, and then we can try to grind some coffee beans and make a pour over and see how it tastes. And then I'll make a second cup using my millwright to see whether I can actually taste any difference in terms of the taste and clarity, the body, and the smell. So we'll be judging the coffee grinded by two different grinders based on their smell, based on their body, and based on their clarity, and some sort of a tasting note description. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to see what kind of grind size we're going to get. And of course, first I'll try to find the 0 setting on this grinder. So by right, if I turn clockwise, it's going to grind finer. Right, so if I turn clockwise, it's going to grind finer. Yep, so let me see. It has got, I believe, there are 50 settings per round, and I think you can go 4 rounds. So that will give you about 4 times 50, about 200 kind of a setting in terms of the step. So every step increases by how much or decreases by how much. I will do a further study on this. Basically, this is just a first-hand review on the K4 grinder and see how it grinds and whether it grinds efficiently, whether it can give you a good cup of coffee, and that's what we're going to do. So let's just grind some beans and see how's the setting like. I'm just going to throw a few beans inside and then we grind. Oops. By the way, the grinder uses something similar to this. As compared to the Easy Presso, I believe the handle and the cover is together, but this is separate. And the coffee bean I'm using is the light roasted Yunnan red wine series coffee bean, so it's going to be quite hard to grind. So this will really put the grinder to test, because these are light roasted coffee. Currently I'm at 0 setting actually, so let me see whether I'm actually getting something out. Yep, there's nothing, which means currently the setting is at 0, and that's the finest you can go. So now I'm going to go, because I'm going to do pour over, so I'm going to go 1 complete revolution, which is 50 clicks, then another 50, so I'll go by 100 clicks and see how it goes. Right, so now I can feel the coffee grinding now. It grinds pretty efficiently. The smells is good. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring you closer to see the coffee particles and let you see how consistent the grind is. Of course, this is by visual. In future, I'll be using my groove sieve to actually sieve out to see whether how much fine I'm getting, how many percent of the grind are fine grind powder, and how many percent are actually the powder and the particle size I'm looking for. So let me bring you closer to see the grind quality. So what you're seeing now is the 100 clicks from 0. So this is actually the grind consistency. I would say that on camera, the grind looks pretty good, and I think I'll grind slightly coarser, so that I'm just going to do a quick pour over and see how the taste tastes like, and then I will report back to you on the taste profile. So I think this is a bit too fine for pour over. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to open up another maybe 20 settings. Right, so now I'm actually at 120 clicks from 0 setting, which is the final setting. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure about 10 grams, because I'm just going to brew about 150 grams of water. By the way, if you're in Singapore and if you have not tried our Yunnan red wine series coffee bean, you really have to get it and try. I can say that you can never find these beans in Singapore other than us, because it really gives you a unique fermented red wine kind of aftertaste. If you like winey kind of coffee, very sweet tropical fruits, you have to try this, right? So there will be an increase in price in the bean very soon, because our suppliers are increasing the price of coffee beans due to logistic and probably weather changes and harvest issue. So do get it. I think our price will stay the same in December, but next year there may be a price increase for the coffee beans, right? And we only do single origin coffee beans for pour over, right? And for espresso, we can of course custom make the coffee bean for you, roast the coffee bean for you to whatever kind of brewing method that you want. So let's measure about 10 grams, right? Because I'm going to do 1:15 ratio. Okay, slightly more, but it's fine. So I'm just going to do about 17 grams. So now let's put the grinder to test. I'm going to see how effectively the grinder actually grind coffee. And I think the design is pretty good. So if you pour the beans inside, the beans will not be caught in any of the holes, like the one I had on the millwright. Right, you can see that the handle actually pushes right into the catch, and that's how the handle catches the axle and grind. However, if you do not cover this center hole, right, occasionally when the bean size is small, it can get stuck and it's a pain in the butt to get it out. So this is something that's quite good on the Kin Grinder K4, right, which is very similar to the Easy Press 1Z Presso, whereby they do not have, they actually have the cover to close the axle so that there will be no bean trap inside. So I can just pour safely inside, and everything will be going in. And now let's grind some coffee beans. So right now is, I'll say start, and then we'll see how long it takes. Okay, let's start. I'm just grinding at normal speed. I'm not going to speed up. This is about 15 grams of coffee. I'm just going to do a slightly stronger coffee today. Right, it takes about 23 seconds to finish grinding this. And let's warm up the cup. And the filter. Today I'm going to use the Hario cloth filter. Let me get a cup here. Smell the coffee bean. Wow, smells amazing. You really have to try these, right? Right, my water temperature is about 95 degrees Celsius, and let's start. Okay, let's let it broom for a while. About 30 seconds of broom time. Since I'm using about 15 grams, I'll be getting about 225 grams of water out. By the way, I've moved my Lapaboni to my office as well. We do not sell the Lapaboni. We are just displaying here, because I think Lapaboni looks really good on the shelf, and I really like liver kind of espresso machine. Yep, exactly 225 grams. And then the drawn down is a bit fast because I've grinded slightly on the coarser side because I want to extract the sweetness and the brightness of the coffee. Right, the drawn down is complete. It takes about 1 minute and 50 seconds, slightly on the fast side, but it should be okay. So let me get a glass and then let's try the coffee. Smells amazing. So now is the time to see how the tasting is like. So I know the taste profile of this coffee bean and I'm expecting something similar. So if you can produce the same kind of cup quality, then I would say that this King grinder, which is pretty cost versus specs wise, is probably something that we can consider getting. Oh, wow, sweet, balanced shot. Wow, amazing. I'm pleasantly surprised, right? So this is only the K4 and it surprises me. So stay tuned for more update on this grinder. I'll try to use this grinder more and give you my honest feedback maybe after 1 or 2 weeks of use. So stay tuned for more updates on this, right, King grinder, which is the model K4. And on the whole, right, I like the grinder. Of course, with this price, I cannot ask about, I think the quality versus the price wise, I think it's pretty good. And I like the grind adjustment on the outside. And let's see how the inside is. Yeah, the sound is a bit squishy, right? If they improve the sound, it'll be perfect. So you can see that there are quite a bit of coffee ground stuck inside, but as compared to the 1Z Presso, 1Z, usually I get a lot of coffee ground stuck here. But I think I'm actually quite, I find that this one actually has less retention on the opening whereby the burr grinds each other and then where the bean comes out. Next time I will show this against the millwright, not the millwright, the 1Z Presso, which I have, the JMax and the K Pro, and see how the grinder looks as compared to each other, right? Because the millwright is something that is different from this because the adjustments is different. So let me make another cup from the millwright and see how the taste like. So by the way, this is the K4. Forget it. I will not make the millwright. Sorry about that. I will just be let me cool the coffee down a little bit more, and then I'll give you the another feedback on how the coffee tastes like. Wow, it's very balanced. It's really on the sweeter side because I grind a little bit coarser, and I can definitely taste the winey taste. I can taste some fruit. It's very fruity and it's not acidic. So if you like fruity but not acidic kind of coffee, you really have to get our Yunnan coffee beans, right? Not any other Yunnan coffee beans, not the poor coffee beans, but the Yunnan red wine series, right? This is the I would say one of the best coffee. Sorry, I'm a seller of this bean. It sounds like I'm actually boasting my own beans, but you have to try to believe it. We welcome you if you like some samples, right? We can actually we welcome you to collect from our shop, right? Our shop should be opening very soon. We just have a few more furnitures to come in, and then we will be officially opening up our shop. By the way, our shop is situated at Eunos, right? If you want to visit us in our shop, right, you can make an appointment with us. You can either I think the best way to make an appointment is to WhatsApp me, right? I will link my WhatsApp number at the description here below so that you can actually get the number to WhatsApp me if you want to come down to our showroom. right, to look at the series of called espresso machine that we are selling right now. Or if you want to try our coffee, right, we welcome you to come down, drop by, and then we can make you a cup of coffee. So again, today's is about K4 from Keen Grinder. So I'll give you more review on this after I use it for a few more times, so that I can give you a better review on this. So today's video is just going to be a quick unboxing and show how the quality likes as compared to some of my other grinders which I have. Right, so this is CY once again. Thank you for joining me. If you're first time joining my channel, right, my channel is about having fun making coffee, and obviously I'm pleasantly surprised by the K4. I do not know how much better is the K6, but I'll be doing in another video very soon. So cheers. If you have not subscribed to my channel, remember to hit the subscribe button and like my videos if you can, right? And I'll see you in the next one, and stay safe. Cheers. It's really good.